Right, hello everybody. Welcome along to this stream. Very excited for this one actually. So, brand new game called Noble Legacy that is still in early access. That's how new it is. It's not even out for that yet. But I'm going to be working with these guys. I'm going to be doing a lot of content on this starting today. And very fortunately as well, we are going to be having Phillipe joining us in just a second. So Phillipe is one of the lead devs on the team. I don't want to speak for him. I'll let him introduce himself and all that good stuff. But that's going to be a thing, bit of a Q&A. Please do feel free to put any questions in chat and stuff, and Phillipe might better see those as well. Also, B-Vitamin, thank you so much for subscribing for 16 months. That's an awesome start to any stream to get a sub right off the bat. I appreciate that. So I am live on YouTube and Twitch if people prefer different things. What I'll do, I'll give Phillipe a call, get him in, and then I'm going to start playing a game as well. So we're going to see some gameplay footage today as well. And it's been super fun to play, so I'm excited to share this with you guys. Let's give him a call. Hopefully he answers, and we'll jump off from there. This is a tense moment. If he doesn't answer, the stream could go somewhat sideways. Ah, here he is. Hey, Phillipe.
Hello.
Hey, there he is. How you going?
I'm going well.
Good. I just gave a bit of a introduction, a very brief introduction about yourself. I don't know if you want to, in your own words, tell everybody you know who you are and what you do and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah. Sure. My name is Phillipe. I am the current lead designer for Noble Legacy. Yeah, that's me. I'm not even sure what else to say. No, I'm not I think I guess. Yeah, no, I don't know. That's probably the high level of it. The most important stuff for today's stream, I suppose.
Yeah, no, that's all good. So you're kind of across everything. You just oversee pretty much everything that's going on there.
Yes, pretty much. There's definitely we're a pretty small team, so there's not too much to oversee. But I do oversee a lot of stuff. I kind of handle all the production side of things a lot of the time, as well as kind of doing all the design work. So a lot of the gameplay decisions and stuff usually fall to me, and occasionally, because we're such a small team, everyone wears a lot of hats.
Yeah, sure.
We also kind of get down and dirty with some of the code and dev work as well.
Okay, so yes, it keeps you pretty busy then. You're across all things by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
So I should mention to people as well, there is a demo version available of this game right now. If you want to jump in and play, it's a free demo on Steam. Links to all this stuff in my video descriptions. I was just having some fun with the customization there, with the characters and stuff. But I'll jump into an actual bit of gameplay right now. And obviously we'll talk about a lot of different features here today and different parts of the game. But for you, Phillipe, as one of the developers, or lead developer, is there anything in particular with the game mechanics or features or anything like that that you're kind of excited for players to experience?
Great question. Love it. There's a couple things that we're definitely excited for that kind of sets us apart from kind of similar games in the field, and that is definitely it's a lot centered around kind of our villagers. So kind of like a colony sim, they all have different personalities and needs. And a big kind of focus is keeping them kind of happy within the town and keeping their needs and desires met to kind of get the most kind of productivity and taxes out of them, essentially. And I think that's kind of a big part of the design loop, right? Like when you see a lot of colony sims, a lot of villagers or colonists or whatever it is in that version of the game tend to just have kind of like variations on stats and stuff. And something that we do in R1 is all of our villagers have kind of one mixed trait and one behavior trait. And their behavior trait kind of determines what they like to do during their off time, and that can have a serious impact on the kind of how efficient they are at their job, right? So like you can get examples where you get somebody who is like really like pious, so they tend to spend their free time at the church. But if you make them a fisher and the lake is on the other side of town, then they end up spending less time at work because they have to spend so much time commuting back and forth to where they want to go. So there's like a lot of logistics management and kind of considerations there that come into play. You know, there are certain villagers who they're like fraternal, so they like working with the boys. And like if there's a bunch of dudes all working in the same place they're working, then everyone gets like a big productivity boost.
Okay.
Stuff like that. So yeah.
Just to mention Rasad, so this isn't exactly the demo version. This is kind of a sneak peek of an early access version, but the demo is very similar to this, but it's more story driven. This is a sandbox mode. It just seemed best for the stream. We're not knowing how long it would go. So yeah, in terms of the villagers, this is something I was looking at yesterday. I believe I'm right when you recruit them. There's only not every villager can do every job. Is that right? They have to be certain skills and stuff.
Yes, that is correct. So we've definitely been working to improve some of the visibility on how that works. But there's essentially 3/4 types of villagers. So you've got peasants, tradesmen, artisans, and then you've got the nobles. And essentially the jobs are divided into 3 categories. You're either a peasant, you're either a tradesman, or sorry, yeah, jobs are either like for peasants, for tradesmen, or for artisans.
Right.
And then nobles are special. They can just do any job.
Okay.
So that's something to kind of keep in mind. You should see in this build, because yeah, as you've mentioned, this is a kind of preview build of something a little ahead of where the demo currently is.
Yeah.
You'll see that when you go to any specific building type. So if you go to your what's it called? I'm trying to think of an example. Like the forager, it'll say, here's your list of peasants that can do this job.
Right.
But if you go to the researcher, it'll say you need a tradesman to do a research.
Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. I think as well, when I get into this in a second, we'll recruit some villagers and things, and you can maybe talk a little bit more about that. Because I think it's awesome the way it works, but I was a little confused about 1 or 2 things. But I think, because the villagers are sort of, if I'm getting this right, the more the focus of the game, rather than the survival side, right? Like, there's no hunger and thirst and stuff like that. So is that pretty much how the focus of the game will be? Not so much on survival, but on the villager management itself?
Yes, sort of. So villager management is definitely the key. And while you don't have to kind of worry about your hunger and warmth and that type of stuff, you do kind of have to worry about it for the villagers. Right, so their morale will actually drop if they aren't able to get access to food. Their morale will drop if they aren't able to fuel warmth in their houses. I believe warmth was turned off for the demo, so you don't see that in the demo because that was very much kind of like a tutorial.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I believe in the version you're playing in the sandbox, you will see when you highlight over certain villagers, if they haven't been able to kind of find fuel for their house, they'll start getting a cold effect.
Right, okay. No, that's cool. And I was having a bit of fun with the villagers yesterday. I like the negotiation as well, but I'll get into that in a second. We'll get some villagers then. Oh, rats have infested my food stores. That's a new one. I've already just started. This is so unfair.
Honestly, it probably worked in your favor because you don't actually have a
true.
A food store right now. Like if you had a storehouse, they would have targeted it.
They didn't get anything.
No, they got nothing because it's all on you right now.
So, but is that because I've seen like there's different events in the game, so events would be things like that, right?
Yeah. There are a couple different types of events. We've got kind of villager mini quests, for lack of a better term, where they can go to they can kind of say, oh, you'll see a notification where it's like, oh, Alma wants to speak with you or something, and then speaking to them, they'll be like, hey, can you handle this for me? And you'll always be given, for those ones, a couple of options. Usually there's one option that lets you kind of get down in the dirt and handle it yourself, but there are usually also options that let you just kind of hand wave it away by paying or tell them to deal with it themselves. Right. Which might result in them getting kind of upset or you losing like food stores or something.
Yeah, okay, so that's actually something I was going to ask you about, because there are in this game, when you play through at different times, all different sort of choices and decisions you can make. So those choices and decisions will kind of directly impact the future gameplay and things like that. Is that right?
Yeah, so we've got a couple different ones that have kind of different levels of lasting impact. So some of them kind of it's just like an immediate consequence. So there is one where I think your like stores can get infested, similar to the rat one, where if you handle it poorly, then you just lose a bunch of food, and then that's done. Obviously, that might have long-term consequences if you didn't save up enough for the winter. But then there are other events that like can apply buffs or debuffs to villagers over like an extended period of time.
Yeah.
I don't know which ones are in currently, but I do know there's one where like you're encouraged to like kill this stag, and if you do it successfully, then for like the next like I think it's like 20 or 30 minutes in game, all villagers move faster. Because like the stag's horns had like a medicinal property or something. I can't remember the specifics off the top of my head.
Yeah,
I think
sure.
you kind of have like effects that will apply that could potentially help or harm the success of your village.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So you never like, depending on those decisions, you don't know how things might go, basically. But I like that as well as having the sort of extra option in there, where you know, you can like every time you play through or whatever, it can be a little bit different depending on the decisions you make. You know, so that's cool. I was figuring out this road system yesterday. So I think left click and then left click and then right click. Yeah, there we go. That made. Sorry, that was just me talking out loud, figuring something out. And in terms of those like decisions and stuff on a larger scale with the actual town itself, is it like you can focus more on different areas if you want to do more, you know, farming or trade or combat or stuff like that? You know, is that something you can send to your town around?
Definitely, at least for I think the early access launch, it's designed to be pretty balanced around all of them.
Right.
And you can't kind of neglect one, or else you know there can be consequences if you do.
Okay.
So I think that is the current thing. There is kind of discussion behind the scenes about scenarios where that stuff does get focused, like specific ones do get focused on, where like. You know, a specific scenario will be like, hey, there's significantly more bandits in this scenario, right? So you're going to need to focus more on combat and getting that stuff in, or else you'll have a much worse time. So we kind of have a bit of mix, but at least for the EA launch, I believe it's like a fairly balanced mix of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the EA launch is July 15th, that's right, isn't it?
I have to double check. I believe it's July 22nd.
Okay, 22nd. All right, but it's looking in the next few weeks at some point. And then in terms of like after that, how's the development looking over the next year or so? Like, what's the plans with that?
Yeah, so we've got a roadmap that we should be kind of surfacing to the public soon. The current kind of plans is over the next kind of 6 to 9 months, a handful of kind of very big new features will be added. So in the next 3 months, so kind of end of summer, we've got it's called the Heart and Hearth update, where we'll be adding kind of player castles and kind of player homes, as well as additional kind of romance options.
That's
as
awesome.
Well.
I want to build a castle.
Yeah, we were hoping to get it in for EA, but it's being delayed a bit just so that we can get it looking really good before we kind of show it to everyone.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's better to do that, to delay and get it right, rather than rushing it.
Yeah, 100%. But we are definitely very excited to see that stuff. Some of that internally is coming along, and yeah, it's looking fun. It's looking good.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, looking forward to that one. The building, like, I think, because having a lot of freedom with building in general is awesome in games. But for a medieval game, being able to build a castle is just like, yeah, that's everybody wants to do that, surely. I guess you guys have.
100.
Sorry, I was just saying, but you've probably had a lot of fun playing around with this stuff, haven't you? Like doing all the buildings and stuff when you're testing it.
Oh yeah, there's definitely occasionally when we're looking kind of at the various chats, people will sometimes post their weird build that they made when they were testing stuff, and some of those can be quite fun. I'm definitely somebody who likes kind of very bespoke reserved ones, but some of the people on the dev team definitely do some unhinged designs, which can be quite fun to look at as well.
Oh, here's all right. So we have some people now that can join our town. So this is how recruitment works, guys. They come and you can negotiate with them. So the requirements there are a tiny meager house, which is what we already built. The small meager house. So I played around with this. I think I'm right in this, Philippe. The small meager house. The difference between that and tiny is kind of making the house a bit nicer, adding decorations in and things like that. Is that right?
Yeah, 100%. We're definitely going to kind of be going through that and making what tiny and small meager house means a little more kind of transparent for the players. Obviously, internally, we know what a tiny house and a small house are, but the players do not.
No.
Yeah, so that more or less says you've kind of hit it right on the nail on the head. Nope, that's not the phrase. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, the small houses need to be slightly bigger and slightly better decorated. And if you don't have any of those in the town yet, then they won't even consider negotiating with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so then if we hover over certain traits here, it tells us as well, like about, so schedule is offset 2 hours forward because this Magdalena's a night owl, likes to work near to the house, which is cool. So you have to like figure out where they're living and stuff. But then in terms of like the people I've got on screen now, I think you've got this screen up, Philippe. You can see this. But so one thing that I was kind of confused about is what jobs they can do. Like, because I recruited some people yesterday and then found out, they can't do the job. So does this screen like indicate what jobs each of these people can do?
The stream is slightly delayed, but I believe I know what you're referring to. So there's 2 places where you can tell where what type of villager they are. When
Okay.
you go to negotiate with them, it should open up and it'll have their name on one side, and then on the other side it'll say either peasant, tradesman, artisan, or noble. There's also a little flag next to their stats, and there's 4 different types of flags, and depending on which flag is there, it indicates what type of villager type.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, this negotiation thing's cool. So you only get 1 go at this, by the way, guys. So you want to get it in the green if you want someone, and then. Oh, you said no. I was in the green. I guess you have to get it all the way in the green for them to say yes. But we have another shot of this. All right.
You actually, so I can give a little secret here. You actually do not have to get it all the way. It is what that amount is. It's actually a gamble. So this means that like if it's like halfway there and you make that offer, it means they have like a 50% chance of accepting. So you can kind of, if you're low on money, you can try to offer them maybe less than what they want, and they might still accept. But if you really want someone, then yeah, you want to keep it in the green just to guarantee that they accept the offer.
All right, we did just manage to get one, but I like that. It's fun that you have the gamble. So here he comes. This is the dude joining our town. I think it was Chris. There he is. Now I thought it said he was a tradesman. So let's see. We should be able to get him to work for the market stall. Is that right?
Yeah, I think the market stall, storehouse, and the research desk are all tradesman jobs.
Yeah. Okay. So I've said that the market stall can sell berries, which will add to our market storage. And let's see. We go to storehouse. So available tradesman. He's actually not showing up here. Not sure if that's. Let's see. Maybe it's because of this maintenance. I need to make the trades house a little bit nicer, I think, before he'll work there. Is that what's going on?
They should just show up if it is correct. I'm wondering. The stream is like slightly delayed, so I can't see what's happening specifically. It's possible I've set the market job for artisan or peasant by accident. It should say like where the job slots are. It should tell you like, hey, this is peasant, tradesman, or thing.
Yeah, all good. It says like villagers. It says merchant is the thing, and then available tradesman, but it's not showing any. Although Chris was one. I will say again, reminder to chat, we are in EA, so there might be a bug or two that we experienced today, and that's all good. But yeah, I'm not sure if that's a thing or not. We can probably give him a house at least though, so he's got somewhere to sleep. Oh wait, he's not even showing up for housing. That's odd. So this was working yesterday when I played this, but this is the curse of the live stream. As soon as you go live, things start to break.
Yeah, that is food. I wonder if what's the name of your villager? I want to see if I
Chris.
can. Chris.
Yeah.
It's Chris. What are you? Let me see if I can figure out. I'm kind of curious
Yeah.
why Chris is being so thing. Let me see if I can see any information. And
It's
reveal
because I'm
that.
straight. You know, as soon as you go live with stuff, the weirdest things happen that you've never experienced
Yeah.
before. It's always the way. Apparently, I have a mysterious someone has just turned up at my village as well. I have to keep an eye out for that person. Yeah, Chris is lost. He's just following me around at the moment. He's just like, what am I doing here? Yeah. But this is good. We could test some things out together. Figure some things out on the stream. Noble Legacy Game, thank you for joining the chat, by the way. And Greek, yes, it is a very granular building system. There's a lot of freedom with what you're building. And we haven't actually looked at this yet. I'll show you this build tab here. So under decoration, we've got all these decorations as well. Oh, an outhouse. That's new, actually. But yeah, so loads of clutter stuff and different builds and things. So you can turn each build into exactly what you want it to be, which is one of the nice things about it. I'm just giving Phillipe some time here. I think he's doing a bit of looking into some things here for us. Trying to figure that issue out with Chris right there, Phillipe.
Yeah, I'm trying to take a look, seeing if there's something weird about him. That is so odd because he looks like he is a tradesman and he should just be behaving. And it's working less than 24 hours ago.
It's always the way. I'll try to hire another tradesman, and we'll see. That should work. We'll see if this works. Maybe it's an issue with that job at the moment, or something like that.
Maybe.
So
yeah. Usually I tend to start my games with a. What's it? I always start with a forager and then the woodcutter, just so I don't have to deal with cutting wood anymore.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I don't know. He was a tradesman. I was like, I'll hire him because I built a little shop. But this one worked, by the way. Richard is now, he's a tradesman, and I can put him in the house. So I think the bug is with Chris, not with the job or the villagers in general. But that's maybe a better thing anyway, because it's just one individual.
Yeah. He's...
Now, I don't think there's a way I can kick him out of my village, is there? I just have to wait for him to get upset and then he'll leave.
Yeah, unfortunately right now you can't just kick people off. We'll probably have that in for launch.
Yeah.
But right now they're currently just turned off, just to stop you from breaking stuff in the demo. Because in the demo there was a period of time where people could fire the people that were part of the quests.
Right.
Which caused some interesting results. You know, when you fire Alma, you can't actually tell her, "Hey, I fixed your home now."
Yeah, no, fair enough.
But yeah, for Sandbox at least, you will be able to dismiss villagers come early access launch.
Well, that's okay. For now, we'll just have a little companion for the stream. Chris will just follow us around and sort of pretend he's helping. We'll make him feel like he's part of the town.
What a little guy.
So in terms of challenges, we met one today, but I was thinking about this for the game's progression. What do you think are going to be the biggest challenges when we are progressing through the game for players to look out for?
Right. So there's definitely, like a lot of colony sims, as you kind of get more people in, these games kind of become games of kind of balancing logistics and the increased number of people's needs and wants, right? So while it's not too difficult when you've only got 2 or 3, when you're managing, 10 to 20 villagers all of a sudden, making sure you've got enough food, you've got enough kind of fuel to keep them warm during the winter, is going to be some of the big things, and earning gold becomes like a larger challenge over time. We probably won't see it in this 1 hour, but eventually you start getting taxed by the king.
Oh, right, okay. That's cool.
And so there is like a potential fail state there, where if you don't have enough gold, you can essentially lose the rights to the land because you kind of have failed to keep up with the taxes that the king imposes on you.
Right, okay.
So like kind of as the game progresses, that stuff gets a little harder, and managing your villagers and keeping that all going kind of becomes the key challenge points.
Yeah, that's
we
interesting.
definitely don't.
Sorry.
Yeah, at least on the normal difficulty, we don't push too hard because we definitely really like the kind of building angle, and we want people to have the flexibility to enjoy kind of building a house and not be penalized for taking the time to make something look nice.
Yeah, because some people do really like that stuff, don't they? Like you get the builders out there who just love to, well, build. But that's one of the cool things as well, I think, is the fact that you can build with so much freedom in this game. It seems like something you guys are pretty focused on because you've got all these different decoration items and the granular building and stuff like that, right? So I guess that was like a priority from the start.
Yeah, it's always been a big priority, and we've tried to kind of merge it into the core systems as well. So you're not just making it pretty for pretty's sake. So a lot of buildings have like a decoration target, and the kind of the more you decorate out a building, the more productive the workers are, or the happier they are if you decorate their homes more.
Yeah.
So there's a number of reasons to decorate. So we encourage it and reward players who do engage with that decorating system.
Yeah, I think that's nice. The good thing as well is once you've got that sort of thing in the game, obviously you can just add to it whenever you want, right? So, you can add more decorations in and stuff whenever you like, and then eventually the game builds up to having tons of stuff in it. And for anyone who's into that, it's like you've just got so many options. It's awesome.
Yeah, 100%. Like as we continue to progress, we are definitely continuing to add more and more items. I know there's at least like a dozen or two more that are going to be showing up by the time the EA launch hits. Like we've got a bunch that are just hidden, waiting to be revealed for that launch.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm just doing a bit of decorating with the house right now. I'm one of those people who I do quite like the decoration side of things, just spending a bit of time, trying to make something look how I want it to look and make it a bit unique and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of exactly the same. The decoration stuff is definitely kind of at my heart.
Right.
And there's bits and pieces that have been added that weren't going to be added originally just because I wanted more decoration pieces for certain buildings.
Fair enough. You're like, no, this has to happen. We have to have this in. I think it's good as well because it gives the game more longevity, because then people can late game just spend all their time building if they want and stuff like that.
But yeah,
so
end
yeah,
game of all is fashion, so...
Yeah. Right, let's see. We got Chris the Ghost. I think we can recruit someone else now. Let's see. What do? You're a tradesman. Getting a lot of tradespeople showing up. In fact, they're all tradespeople right now. We need to get some... yeah, that might be the bug. Everyone's going to be a tradesman.
That's so bizarre. I think it's just a coincidence, though. You just lucked out and exclusively got... Because she's a tradesman.
It'll just be the weirdest stuff. Yeah, they both are, yeah. It's just the weirdest things that will happen when I'm streaming. You'll just get all this stuff that you're like, this has never happened at all, but now it does.
I think Elizabeth might actually be a peasant. I don't know if maybe the flag is showing up wrong there.
Oh, let's have a look. So, recruits... Oh, she's gone already. Sorry, that must have been my old one. Sorry, I'll get new ones in a few minutes.
R.I.P. Elizabeth.
Yeah. So, one thing I was looking at as well. So in the demo version, I did do a bit of combat, but obviously you guys say yourselves it's limited at the moment, but you're planning to do kind of an overhaul of that. So I realized this might be kind of early. I don't know how much you can sort of say about it, but I thought I'd ask, what the plans are with combat in this game.
Yeah. It's definitely a bit early. It's definitely down the line in terms of what we want to do for combat. Like 6 months down the line.
Okay.
So it's a bit tricky, but there's definitely a couple things we know that are definitely going to be coming in. Some of them are kind of like what do we call it? Like gear related. So kitting out different people with different types of weapons and stuff is something that we know will probably be coming down the line.
Right.
In terms of like the actual combat field, that's something that we'd really like to do like a full overhaul, but that's definitely going to come down to kind of the reception receive and how people feel about the combat going forward. Like if the community, part of the reason we go into early access is to see what the community wants, right? Like originally the romance and some of the like player house building stuff was actually really low priority. Like it was much further down the line, but we ended up shifting what our planned like roadmap was, because what we were seeing from the community just kind of the very small community we currently have in kind of closed betas have just constantly been asking, oh, when can I romance someone? When can I get a wife? Like, those have been the number one questions that we've been seeing from people a lot.
Right.
So we've been pushing that kind of a lot more forward. So if we see a lot of affection and interest in more combat stuff, then we'll probably push it forward and do a lot more with it. Otherwise, it'll be like polished to make kind of combat feel a little more fair and a little more snappy, because it's a little too tab targety for my taste.
No, fair enough.
Yeah, that 100% comes down to how our community feels about that stuff and how important that ends up being to them, or if they're just kind of interested in building, you know.
Well, I think that's cool though, because you're sort of letting the community, you know, not dictate the direction of the game, but you know, negotiate with you guys, I guess, on the direction and what they want. So it's nice that you're involving people, you know, like that. And you know, I personally, I love it when games go into early access. I know that not every game does it, and some people aren't a fan and stuff like that, but I think it's a really good idea for everything that you're saying, right? You can actually see people engaging with the game and playing and what they like and what they don't like. So to me, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's such a early access, especially like nowadays, is such a gamble. Like we can all we've all seen, you know, early access games where things get a bit rough, or the community, or you know, especially when the devs don't kind of communicate, they just kind of set it out early and don't say anything. Like, yeah, that's definitely not our intent. Like we've been really active with our community Discord, which anyone is free to join. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, no, do it. It's a good Discord. I'm on there. It's okay.
We always look through that stuff and see what people are saying and what is bothering people the most, and that has a huge effect on what we choose to focus on and what kind of maybe gets put to the wayside because people don't care about. Like, there are definitely things that I'm like, oh, I wanted to really put plagues in really early on, but everyone was like, no, what I want is romance, and I was like, okay, well, you give the community what they want.
That's cool. Yeah. Bojingles, thank you so much for the sub on Twitch. Yeah, I don't know why Twitch is laggy. It's been like that the last couple of streams, but YouTube's working fine, which is where most people are, I think. So a good question here from Rasad as well in the chat, if you're able to answer this, about what hostiles are there in the game, and if they're more active at night or during storms or anything like that. But I don't think there is anything too much like, there's not like wolves that come and attack you or anything like that, is there, or am I wrong?
Whoops, I was muted. Hello. So the main kind of adversaries right now are just the humanoid adversaries. So this is just kind of thieves and bandits that mostly just kind of fight with swords. Right. We do know for the Wildlands update, which is planned in, I think it's about to come out in 6 months' time, that there will be an expansion to the number of kind of fauna that is aggressive, which would include stuff like wolves. Right, okay. But it is mostly just humanoid enemies. They aren't affected by the day or night schedule right now, though that is a very cool idea, and we could maybe make them show up more at night. But right now, they kind of there'll be specific events where they can show up. So you may get an event that somebody says, oh, there's like a creeper at the end of town that's, you know, wandering around. There's a couple of events where bandits kind of try to extort you, and if you don't pay their protection money, then they'll come after you. So we've got a couple different ways they can show up, but for the most part, it is just humanoid enemies.
Oh, that's cool. Just to say to you as well, Philippe, I know you've got this stream up on the second monitor. The YouTube stream is much more in real time than the Twitch stream, apparently, so I don't know which one you're watching, but just to mention that.
Yeah, I was on Twitch. I'm switching over. Oh god, I just heard myself echoing. Whoop. Yep.
All good. Yeah, I've been playing around with some settings and stuff. I'm not sure why Twitch has been lagging recently, but yeah. Now, I was fishing just a minute ago, and I actually meant to ask you then about, I did see something as well, you're planning to add more to fishing in the game, but again, this may be way too far off for you to talk about, I'm not sure.
It's the wild, again, like, we have the Wildlands update is like all our like fishing and hunting, and that's... So, I know what we have planned that's on the list. We have somebody who's really obsessed with fishing minigames, so we can guarantee that that'll at least show up in some form at some point, because there's no way he's going to let this game go out without a fishing minigame at some point. there'll definitely be fishing minigame in the future, as well as like different fish types, which may kind of tie into quests or other kind of potential event-related stuff.
It's funny you talk about quests, because I've got one right now actually from Richard, who we've got a monk who's passed out in our storehouse.
Oh, this one. This was actually, as a little fun fact, this was the first event I think that was ever added to the game.
It's cool. So gotta find Richard and update him about the situation. Let him know I've sorted out the monk. I think these little events and quests and things like this, though, they're awesome. Like, personally, I really like having this sort of thing in the game. And there we go, event success.
Nice. Yeah, you got lucky, because he makes a bigger mess if you've got a temple.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
he actually leaves he leaves a bunch of like barrels or is it like pewter? He leaves a bunch of like wine bottles everywhere, essentially, that you have to deal with as well. Unless he's but if you don't have that yet, then he doesn't have space to make that mess.
Ah, okay. There we go. So I got lucky. I've been getting lucky today. You must be my good luck charm with these quests. Although it seems like so when I negotiate with these new recruits, they're saying they're all tradesmen, but I mean, to be fair, they're both the same person because Thomas has showed up twice.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that is correct or not. If you're able to look at the screen, if those flags that are showing there.
So Margaret and Thomas, I think, are both tradesmen.
Okay, they are.
Let me double check. Where's Thomas? Tomas, where is he? Yeah, they are both trade. This is incredible because there's percentage-wise there are more peasants than there are tradesmen. So like mathematically, getting that many tradesmen in a row is kind of a miracle.
I told you, it's when you're streaming. So I'm just doing a bit of research here. I was going to mention this as well because I think the research is a really cool part of this game. So if we go to the actual research tab, you can see here there's a lot of different things you can research. And right now I am 7 out of 20 progress on the furnace, doing it myself. But of course we can hire people to do this for us as well throughout the game. So you've got different options with that. But sometimes when you and I are chatting, I think I can do a bit of research in the background. And you were talking before about the early access thing. I meant to say, I think one of the issues is people's expectations are way too high these days for early access. And they're like, oh, the game should be way more polished before it is released to early access. And it's like, well, no, that's the whole point, is that it's not polished, but then we can figure things out as a community to drive the game forward in the right direction. So how's your experience so far? I know that you've only done the demo version, but are you getting good feedback from people and stuff like that?
Yeah, so even before our demo release, we had like a bunch of kind of closed beta keys that also went out even before then. And some of that information that comes from the community is always like super helpful. And as I mentioned before, you know, there's a lot of value in seeing where people prioritize things and what they think is more important than others. As I mentioned, like the romance update was going to the romance update was actually going to be the last update originally, so that was like 9 months, a year, potentially even more, like in the future. But it got pushed. We ended up flipping those around just because of how important that was to the community.
That's so interesting.
And that's always like, yeah. I always like to bring it up because it's like it surprised me so much. But like, you know, different people come to these games, especially like colony sims of this style. Like, people come to these games for so many different reasons, and seeing kind of who is drawn, like which communities, sub-communities, I guess, in this kind of genre are drawn to our game ends up becoming like so important to how we end up building it, and how, like, why they came to us instead of you know, the other medieval games that are similar, you know, in this genre.
Well, I suppose, like, you know, if you do other city builder games, if it's like a top-down city builder, you like this sort of city builder first person, or, you know, being immersed in it, like I say, it's much more immersive. So maybe that's why people wanted the romance side of things a bit more. But yeah, it's an interesting one.
Honestly, you probably hit it right on the nail. Right? Nope. Every time I say that phrase, I can never say that. The hammer. What is that phrase? You hit the nail with the hammer. I don't. Yes, that's it. Thank you. You 100% got it right. Like that, I think that is 100% the reason why people see it so much is because you're so up and close and personal, and you're creating your own home. It can kind of give some of that like Sims vibe sometimes, and obviously if you're doing Sims stuff, you're gonna want romance. You're gonna want that type of stuff coming in. Like in retrospect, of course, that's what everyone wanted. Like, yeah.
No, that's fair enough, and I think like again, that's a good thing because like you say, you wouldn't have picked that as being something the community wants, but now because of the testing and stuff, you know that it is. It's a bit surprising to me as well, but now I'm just sort of talking out loud about it. I'm like, yeah, actually, I kind of get how that could be a thing. Oh, hold on. Oh, Rasad, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships over on YouTube. I really appreciate that, mate. Thank you. You're awesome. Yeah, very appreciate the support there. I was about to say something. I can't remember what it was now. Oh, but yeah, that's right. You were talking about romance and stuff. So later on, in terms of the legacy side of the game, is there going to be things like children who kind of take on your town and we're going to age and stuff like that? Or like, how will that go?
It's a good question. It's actually something that, and this is another reason why we like, having the community's ear on some of this stuff it's actually, that's one of the things that's really in debate, right? Because one of the big draws is that, every villager has been kind of handcrafted with their own backstory and set of traits and appearance and stuff, kind of like in the Animal Crossing vibe. So right. we're honestly going really back and forth on that. I don't know if we're going to have aging. I'm pretty sure we're going to have romance. We're probably going to have children who can potentially become adults. But whether we can age... that one is kind of a bit of a question mark that I don't think I can like comment on now.
No, fair enough. Yeah, that's all good. So the romance side of things will be children, marriage as well, maybe, or
yes, no, definitely marriage. Marriage is 100% on the list. That's something that's planned for our first kind of big post-launch update. We'll definitely be seeing that one soon. It's more so just a question of how quickly we can, get an artist to make child models in and stuff like that. Like that's what's holding back the children right now.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But that'll be pretty cool. And obviously, you say there's a lot of people who wanted romance in the game, so I'm sure they're pretty happy about the fact that you're going to be adding that in. That's one of the nice things I really like about if I can get involved with the game early, like I have with this one, is you see it now and then you see it in like a year or two's time and how it develops over that time. And every time new features come out, people get excited to go and try them out in game and play them and stuff. So yeah, I think it's always really awesome to be involved right from the start if I can.
Yeah, and we are happy to have you here.
So a bit of an offbeat question or whatever, but will there be any riding horses in the game or stuff like that for like faster travel?
I believe it's on the list, like horse riding, but it's definitely something I can't confirm even what update that might come in. So I can't give you a time or estimate of when that may happen. My guess is the Wildland update, but that one's something you'll definitely have to just wait and see for how that one ends up manifesting.
Ooh, okay, I got new recruits in. I got 4 this time, so hopefully this time one of them might be what we need. All right, I got a peasant. Here we go. So, are peasants? No, they're not. They don't seem to be. You know what? I'm gonna offer her like a little bit more just to make sure I get her. So there we go. We got Annabelle in. Yeah, a different like peasants, tradesmen, whatever. Do they cost different amounts to sort of persuade them to join? Are peasants a bit cheaper?
Yeah. Peasants are the cheapest of the 4 types. Obviously, the nobles that are a wild card and can do everything are a lot more expensive.
Right.
But the peasants are cheaper. Their price essentially is determined by kind of what type of jobs they do. So if they're a peasant or a tradesman or whatever, and what their stats are, right? So you can see that most villagers have like somewhere between 1 and 3. But like the very powerful villagers can go all the way up to 10. I think is what it maxes out at.
Right. Okay.
So and they're going to be a lot pricier. Yeah, because they essentially, if you have a 10, you're like. Essentially, they have like double the productivity of somebody with like a score of 1, I believe. Okay. So they can produce a lot more for a lot less, and that'll, especially when you like start having to worry a lot more, like on harder difficulties or with a larger town, about food and fuel and stuff, micromanaging the people that, produce the most for the least amount of time becomes a lot more important.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I was just having a little look then while you were talking about all the different stuff here. So I'm looking at things I can research as well. It seems like the Tavern is quite a popular early game requirement from the recruits. So maybe building towards that is a good idea early on into the game. The research tree is really cool as well. I like that. I always like when they're in games. I don't even know why exactly, but I do like that. Cryptic says, do you play a single character or can you control/play other people? So you do play as a single character, but everything you do, all your decisions and stuff like that, will have a direct impact over everybody in your town, I guess is the best way to describe that. But yeah, as Philippe was saying earlier, that's going to be the challenge of the game, I think, keeping everybody happy. And also making enough gold. I think, yeah, gold is something that I was struggling a little bit with yesterday as well. It's one of the reasons I was like, I might make the market stall earlier on. Is the market pretty much the main way that you make gold in the game, Philippe?
So we've been playing a lot with the balance over the last couple weeks, and we're starting to see a little more gold actually come from villagers who are employed. So you'll start noticing that you do just get kind of passive income from any villager that is working a job. I think there's a couple jobs that don't give any tax.
Right.
But like if you've got woodcutters and foragers, they will also kind of pay like 10-20 gold every, I think, 6 minutes. Nope, I lied. I think it's 10 minutes every 10 minutes in game or something.
Right, okay.
So you start getting that stuff as well.
Okay, yeah. And I think my market is set up right. I think I'm right in saying there's not a way at the moment to see if your market has sold items, is there? You just kind of have to watch and see if your gold increases. Is that right?
Yeah, there's no indication currently on how well it's doing. But you'll just have to wait to see if money goes up and stuff. Someone's asking about if you can play as a woman. The answer is yes. That is in now. It's not in the demo, I think. At least currently we will be updating the demo with the female character as well. But for early access launch, it will be they will be available.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, I played the demo a bit myself, so there's not females in that, but there are in here. That makes people so happy, actually, I think. Because sometimes it's a neglected area where they don't have the female playable characters, and yeah, people get upset about that, which fair enough.
Yeah, and we really wanted to get it in for the demo, but we had to unfortunately cut it because for whatever reason the female dialogue kept breaking the opening quest, so we had to just kind of hold them off for at least a bit, because we really wanted to show that off in the demo. But yeah, for the early access launch, and I think the demo starting either next week or the week after, will also have the female character creator in it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Just they couldn't be in the demo because the women were causing problems, but there you go.
Okay, don't phrase it that way. Hold on. But yeah, no, there's a little technical hiccup with the dialogue, unfortunately.
Yeah, all good. Now, I had a bit of a personal question for this one, but I was wondering if there's going to be any kind of photo mode or spectator mode or anything like that, just because I love it for thumbnails, but that's a real personal one.
Yeah, no, that is a solid question. I don't know how in depth we will get. That's probably definitely like a wish list thing. I think at the very least right now, I'm kind of scared to say this because I don't know if it works right now, but I think if you press right shift, it disables the UI.
Okay.
We will see if that breaks everything. So maybe it's a bit risky to press.
Oh yeah, no, there you go.
Yeah, so you can at least do something. We'll probably in the future get like a cooler, flashier thing, because yeah, everyone, especially because people make, cool buildings and stuff. They might want to take like nice beauty shots of that. So we'll probably see that in the future, but it's a little low prio unless people come to our Discord and start screaming, "Where's my photo mode?" In which case it will suddenly become very high priority.
All right, everyone go to the Discord and ask for this. Yeah, it's like I say, I realize that is a just a personal one, but it's hey, thumbnails are super important, all right?
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
So the other thing as well is obviously there's kind of two game modes, right? There's the sandbox and then there's the campaign game mode. So today what we're doing here is sandbox. In terms of campaign, I know that sometimes games have things where if you complete a campaign, you unlock buildings or something like that that you can use in sandbox. You know, is there going to be any purpose behind the campaigns, or is it just for the challenge?
Right now, it's just for the challenge. There is discussion that it might get tied to specific cosmetics that you can unlock by completing them, but I can't confirm that right now because the kind of character customization clothing options that you get when you start the game are not all the options. There are a number more, and we're currently debating whether that'll be attached to scenario or something that's researched.
Okay.
So one or the other. There's definitely, obviously, you know, there's going to be achievements and stuff associated. Everyone likes bragging rights for completing specific challenges.
Yeah.
So yeah, there'll definitely be like value for going through the scenario versus the sandbox, but we don't want to like force anyone one way or another. Like, you know, there are games like Planet Coaster where they have scenarios, but most people just like spend all their time in sandbox. So we're definitely kind of trying to find a good balance between the two currently.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I personally quite like to do sandbox usually because it just offers more freedom and stuff like that. But I'm not adverse to doing, you know, different campaigns and stuff. I just wondered how much it would tie in for that basically. Oh, sorry, I had a bit of a scratchy throat there. So in terms of community involvement with the game's future, you've talked a little bit about how you like the feedback and stuff. So you guys are obviously welcoming that. Is your Discord the kind of the best place to have that?
Yes, 100%. I get every single notification that goes through the Discord, so I do see everything there, and we've got our community manager. Also, kind of, if anything kind of gets sent to him or forwarded in a specific channel that gets missed, he always shares that with the team as well. So that is kind of currently the biggest #1 spot to share feedback.
Yeah, okay. I thought I'd mention that because I'm sure a few people who are watching this today or when they watch the video of this later on will be interested in joining. I'll make sure I add your Discord link as well down to the video description for anyone who watches this later on. But yeah, it's good to get a good community going behind the game and drive it forward that way, and especially with you guys being open to that, you know, that's awesome.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if because we've got Noble Legacy game in chat. I wouldn't be surprised if he posts the link at some point as well in the.
Oh yeah, please do. Yeah, post it in my chat. Yeah.
If he's still kind of haunting around.
Yeah, I saw that Noble Legacy games in there. That's something I meant to ask as well. Sorry, I forgot before about combat. I was going to ask, and again, I know this is kind of down the line, but will the combat be more about defending our own towns, or will there be opportunities to go out and attack, I don't know, bandit camps or other towns or castles or something, something like that?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. We probably will see bandit camps in the future, stuff that can kind of be randomly spawned and set up whenever. That part I think will 100% happen. Whether we get stuff like raiding other castles or other towns, that one is a bit more of a question mark. We might see kind of some hints of it in future scenarios. But at the very least, I can confirm for you that we will see bandit camps at some point in the future.
That's
both
cool.
like in sandbox and just like generated in scenarios as well.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense as well because the game is obviously more about building up your own town and stuff like that, rather than, you know, attacking and combat. I know that's not like the focus of it, so that makes sense. The other thing as well, I was going to ask, and this is a really small thing, but with inventory, you've got a certain amount that you can carry. Will there be like any backpacks or carts or anything like that to increase the carry weight?
That is a fantastic question, one that is being debated there's currently like a logistics debate that's happening internally. So I cannot give you a solid answer on that. There will be improvements to that coming in the future.
Yeah.
But I cannot tell you in what way they may manifest. It might end up resulting in like, could be backpacks. It could be like if you've got stuff in a storehouse, it gets linked to your inventory. Like there's a couple different ways that might go. So we will see an expansion in the future. But I cannot confirm in what way that will manifest. Only that it will probably manifest sooner rather than later.
No, fair enough. I just thought I'd ask about that one. It's a really small thing, but it's just one of those. I was just looking. I think I've just unlocked the tavern. All right, let's see. Yeah, that's been complete. So that's a prefab, isn't it? Usually. Buildings, prefab.
I don't know if we have a tavern in the prefab. So technically speaking, like, because part of the whole prefab system is that like you can, make your own prefabs and then save them, or like download ones from Steam Workshop as well.
Yes.
So if we don't have a tavern, someone else will definitely make a nice tavern that you can place as well. You can also just use any building for whatever you want, right? Like you can put a building down and then delete the bed and replace it with a bar, or even what's the other alternative? I think there's a button you can hold down when you're putting down prefabs that will just like disable all furniture, so you essentially can just place the the shell and then fill it with whatever type of building you want if you don't want to like deal with the structural stuff.
Okay.
So there are options there. You don't have just because it says it's a house doesn't mean it has to be a house.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Actually, it's not something that I thought about, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it's nice that you can change that stuff around if you want. Can I just ask you as well? Sorry, just while you're here, but like I'm not sure my market is actually selling anything. So for example, I've had berries set to sell all for quite a while, but I've still got the same number in my market storage. But I might be doing something wrong, so I wanted to check that.
Yeah, there's a number of possibilities. I do wonder if maybe visitors aren't currently showing up to your town, which could be just a result of like the town being too small, so you don't get visitors yet.
Oh, hold on.
They should be selling them. So that is all set to sell.
Chris is he's in my visitors tab. The game thinks he's a visitor. That's what's happened.
Ooh. And he's not buying it. How rude.
And he's got some thoughts. Alright. Yeah. So he's just in here. Maybe because he's the visitor, new ones aren't coming. Because they think, Chris is here,
It could be. That Chris really derailed things from the start.
He's really messing me up. I want you to leave now, Chris.
What a shitty boy.
Alright. Don't hire Chris, guys. That's the rule.
Don't worry. Chris is getting put in the stocks immediately after this stream is done.
Yeah.
Doing what? Yeah.
He disappeared. Where did he go? I don't know what's happening with him. Yeah, Chris is he's bombed this stream for you, but no, it's been awesome chatting with you. I appreciate you answering all these questions and spending the time. I know we said an hour, and I know we're approaching that. I don't want to keep you. I know you're quite busy at the moment and stuff. But yeah, I mean, if there was anything else you wanted to talk about while you're here, please feel free to do so.
Right. I mean, you've asked so many good questions. I appreciate everything. Super appreciate the time. Obviously, this being a game that's on Steam, my parting words are always, please, if you're thinking about if this game looks interesting to you, definitely hop over to Steam and wishlist it. Just so keep an eye on it, join our Discord and stuff, because kind of the more people we have in the community, the better we can make the game, and that's all we really want to do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The wishlist link is in the description as well, guys, wherever you're watching this. So yeah, please do go check it out. Give them a wishlist. Keep an eye on them. And yeah, 22nd of July, Noble Legacy game confirmed in chat earlier. That's the release date. So yeah, it's coming up pretty quick, actually. Not even 3 weeks away.
It's all hands on deck at the studio right now, trying to get it as nice as possible for that launch.
Yeah, I bet. Well, I won't keep you then. Can I just ask, are you okay? Because I know this is kind of the early access version versus the demo version. Are you okay for me playing this? And if I'm streaming it and stuff, like if I continue after we've finished our chat and stuff?
That is a great question. I'm okay with it. I'm waiting to see if someone from the team just sends me a message saying don't let him play anymore. But
Yeah.
as far as I'm aware, you are welcome to kind of keep going ahead with that for now.
Well, I totally get
legal, but should be good.
No, like I totally get that this is like not the version that everyone's seeing, and so you know if there's content embargoes and stuff, please let me know, and I'll be respectful of that, of course. I'll keep an eye on chat, see if Noble Legacy says, yeah, stop streaming now, or on Discord if you guys message and you know if there's any issues. But other than that, I might keep playing around with it for a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, I'm definitely if it won't be your fault if somebody gets mad. Absolutely, it's okay if we share our bugs with. Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, there we go. It's okay.
It's in text, I can't get in trouble for saying something now.
Well, I mean, look, it's early access, and anyone who thinks an early access game isn't going to have a lot of bugs doesn't understand early access. Like that's not. I think the problem is like you've had some bigger games who have done like a so-called early access thing. And the game was like basically done, you know what I mean? And so then people have these expectations. It's like, no, that's not early access. That was a marketing tool. It was nothing to do with what a real early access is about. But that's okay. My community knows. They're good.
Yeah, that's super great to hear. And yeah, there's always a debate, right? Like how polished should it be before you even put it into early access? And the truth is, like, some of the stuff that we're doing is like it's so deep into the core systems of the game that if we kind of released it in a more polished state, then it meant the community couldn't like give as much feedback if they like didn't like a system or something, because it's like so, you know, built into the game itself.
Yeah, no, that makes so much sense. Like you're absolutely right, because then like you have to go back and spend so much time reworking stuff. You're better to just do it, like you say, when it's in this state and get it right. So yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Oh, I was going to ask you something that I haven't figured out in the game. So hunting, is that a thing I can do right now?
So I believe currently you can kill deers, and I think you can collect venison, and I think people can eat it, but it's not like super well integrated into the systems right now. Like there's no hunting job, and it's very difficult to, at least in Sandbox, I don't think there's a way to obtain a bow, which means fighting them is quite difficult.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, yeah, how am I going to kill them? All right, but so and down the line there'll be like a bow, and that's how hunting will happen and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, there is already a bow in game. It's just I think the version that you're playing, you won't be able to get access to it, but it should be for EA launch. That should be something the player has access to.
Awesome, that's cool. Yeah, hunting's quite fun because it's usually, you know, a bit of a challenge, and you get good resources. And I mean, who doesn't like using a bow and arrow in a game, right? It's always good fun. So yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah, no, we've all played the Skyrim Stealth Archer.
All right, well, yeah, once again, Phillipe, thank you so much for your time. It was really nice hanging out with you today. And I'm sure everyone watching appreciates as well you giving us the info straight from the horse's mouth. What I think I'll do is I'm going to restart a game where I don't hire Chris and just play through for a bit of fun. And yeah, I mean, look, you're welcome to hang around, but also I'm sure you've got quite a lot that you're doing. So yeah.
Yeah, no, we would super appreciate it. We'll probably at least keep an eye on it.
No worries.
Yeah, got a lot to fix and do in these coming weeks. So, still, thank you so much for taking a look at the game.
No worries. It's been my absolute pleasure. And yeah, best of luck with it. I'm sure we'll talk on Discord and stuff. I'm always here if you want to chat. But yeah, thanks again, mate, and best of luck with the EA launch.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, see you, Phillipe. All right, just me and you now, chat. that was Phillipe, as you might know if you've watched that for any length of time. But yeah, that was awesome to speak to him. I've really enjoyed playing this game, so I just kind of wanted to do a bit more. So I'm gonna go and play again. One of the things is like, so if we do a new game here, we can, by not having Chris, we can get the shop up and running, which is quite a big part of the game, because it's like the bit where you get a lot of your, especially early game, I think, you know, all the money you get and stuff. So yeah, I was thinking we'd do that. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. But yeah, enjoy this game. And as I say, there is a demo right now. You know what? This could be Kaizen 2. There we go. That's our name. That's our second one. Yeah, there's a demo right now. Links are in the description if you guys want to play this for yourselves. I'm putting it on easy just to get like a feel for the game and stuff. I'm not trying to exactly, you know, hardcore mode it or anything. So yeah. Thank you, Noble Legacy Game, in chat there as well. Thanks for being here today. Hello, Christy. Hello. Hello, Sarah, Rasad. So many people. Apologies, I wasn't able to be as reactive as normal with the chat side of things because obviously I was chatting with Phillipe and wanted to get all of the questions and stuff answered there. Oh, perfect. He's just given me a link to their Discord as well. So I'm going to share this with you guys now in my chats. So, boom, there we go. That is the Discord link for Noble Legacy if you want to join. And if you're interested in the game, highly recommend joining so you can get all the information and stuff like that. Yeah. All right, cool. So let's see if I put that there. I'm going to have one chat up here. I had to rearrange all my usual setup for the stream, so I'm just getting that back so that I can keep an eye on both chats. Is Twitch still laggy? It's so annoying. I don't know why it's been doing that recently. It's like I don't change anything and then things just change on their own sometimes. I'm forgiven. Yes. I knew I could be forgiven. Thank you, Sarah. Hello, Flash. Yeah, good morning to you. It's a lovely 8 a.m. for me right here, and I'm not even having coffee at the moment. I haven't had coffee in like, well, quite a while actually, about a week or so. And I'm still awake somehow. But yeah, so I've been playing this game a lot, like off cam and stuff. And I just really enjoy it. So I figured as long as the devs are happy, which they are, we'll keep streaming this for a little bit. And when the launch comes out, fully intend to be making several videos on this game. So yeah, this is like good practice for me as well to get some content going. But Twitch is very laggy. Damn, I wonder what that could be. My bitrate is right. I was checking all my settings and stuff yesterday. My download speed is usually between sort of 13 and 17. I don't know why, like that shouldn't be an issue. So I really don't know. Sorry, that's my upload speed. Oh, Christ, if that was my download speed. I mean, Australian internet's not great, but it's not that bad. Tried using Twitch the other day. 1 minute into watching a random video, I get 3 ads. No, thank you. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Twitch, but it has its benefits, and some people want to watch there, and that's, you know, fine. Like at the end of the day, my job is to try and provide the best service I can, and so giving people options about where they watch me is something that's good. I was gonna look at Kick as well. Are any of you guys on Kick? I've heard a lot of good things about it. I might like go on there as well as a third location, so it'd be YouTube, Twitch, Kick. Give people even more, you know, freedom and stuff. But yeah, anybody on there, let me know. No, I'm not going cold turkey as such. Do you know, like, so and it sounds horrid, says Christy. All right, so look, I'm a big coffee guy. I love it. I walk past a coffee place, the smell of it, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. But I've been doing a thing for 4 weeks now, where I've just been on a bit of a health kick. I've actually lost just over 8 kilos in 4 weeks, which is in American money about 16 pounds, I think, in 4 weeks. And a couple of things I've been doing. One of them is I've been fasting, and when I'm fasting, like if you have a milky coffee, that technically breaks your fast, right? So I'm like, it's not good for that. But also I find with caffeine that sometimes it can make me super hungry. You know, you get like that shaky feeling, you want to eat after. So I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, and then I was just fell out of the habit of having it for a few days and was like, I'm actually okay without it. But I'm sure I will get back onto it. Gamer Empire, thank you for that offer. Yeah, I'll take you up on that. If you've got any tips or whatever, maybe you could DM me on Discord. If you know why my Twitch might be so laggy, because that, yeah, sucks a little bit. So that would be good. I definitely will fix it. I'll figure it out. Keep changing some things. But yeah. So yes, this is a first-person medieval-themed Oh, 2.2 pounds. So yeah, over 16 pounds. Not sure what 8 times 2.2 is. I'm not great at maths. But it's a decent chunk, I'd say. And thank you. Yeah, it's been good. It's been a bit overdue, but I'm on the right track with it now, so that's good. There we go. And then in the meantime, just enjoying this game. Life's good. All right, let's see. So I always like to start with this stuff because it just makes sense. We're gonna get ourselves a woodcutter's bench, and I like to decorate it like this. So I put the woodcutter's bench on one side, and then it likes to have a little log pile here. Put that one on the other side, and this is great for storage as well. I think, yeah, you can put anything in here. It says log pile, but it doesn't just hold logs, so you've actually got options, which is cool. Wow, Rasad's got the absolute numbers down from a previous job. Okay. Well, 8 times 2.2... Actually, right, so technically 8.1 kilos times 2.2046 pounds. That's the weight I've lost in 4 weeks, which is pretty good going, I would say. But yeah. And it's nice to be on a healthier sort of route and stuff as well. But yeah, so I know, like, obviously I have a lot of people who watched Medieval Dynasty, and some of you guys in chat right now, I know, like Medieval Dynasty. So if you like Medieval Dynasty, you're gonna love this game. There's nothing not to like about it. It's like, I don't want to, like, it's obviously similar, right? It's obviously a similar game. There are some differences as well, though. Wormlady says, wow, the amount of building options is impressive. You design the inside too. Yeah, I mean, you can get, like, as creative as you like, which is one of the nice things to this. It's, you know, you can, there's a ton of decoration stuff. I was talking with Philippe about this, but the fact is, with decorations as well, it's something you can obviously add a lot of as well if you want. Because, like, anytime they do an update, if they want to add decorations, it's obviously easy to do that. So yeah, I think, like, for builders, this game is going to be something that they'll really enjoy. There's going to be a lot of options and a lot of freedom around that. Should we go... Yeah, no, let's do, like, houses on this side. But maybe if I put them... No, I'll do it like I was going to do it. I'm going to put them here. I don't know why I'm worried about this so much. But anyway, there we go. We have a house. So now we should get some recruits showing up in a minute. Let's see, 2 minutes. They're going to show up. Cool. 17.6 pounds. There you go. Not too bad, right? I think that's pretty good for 2 weeks. Sorry, for 4 weeks. 2 weeks, just about killed me. Similar to Bellwright. Yeah, I mean, look, in terms of the concept, it's not dissimilar, obviously, right? Kind of a town builder and stuff. I liked Bellwright, and I do like Bellwright still. I don't play it all that much, to be honest, but I do like the game. Personally, I would say I've enjoyed this more so far, factoring in as well that this is kind of like, you got to remember it's early access and stuff. Wait, what am I doing here? This one, this one. But yeah, it's pretty similar, right? It is pretty similar. As we're talking about weight loss, I'm waiting in line for a burger. Well, so here's the thing, right? I haven't changed my diet much. I've changed the portion size. That's it. I'm still eating burgers and ice cream and stuff like that. Like, it's just way less, obviously, than what I was before. And I'm finding it a much more enjoyable way of doing it. Because if you're someone like me who doesn't love salad and veg and stuff like that, then I think this is, yeah, a good way to do it. And the fasting on top of that, I think, really helps as well. There's a lot of science behind the fasting stuff. But I always say as well, like, at the end of the day, the best thing you can do is whatever's going to work for you. It's all an individual thing, you know? People always like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. And they get passionate about it because it's worked for them or it worked for their friend or whatever. But really, it's just whatever works for you, isn't it? And this seems to be working for me, so that's good. So, in the chat right now, how many people watching here, how many of you are either going to get the demo or the EA version or are already playing the demo? Just interested how many of you are into that. Yeah. See what the interest is like out there. Yeah, exactly, Sarah. It's calories. So my thing is, like, at the moment, so over the course of a week, I won't average more than 2,000 calories a day. So if I have a night out with the boys or something and I go over that, I just make sure over the next few days I bring it down, and maybe a few days before it, bring it down, stuff like that. Let's see. Hey, we got a peasant. This is exactly what we want. All right, let's see. I'll pay you. Oh, I want to pay less than that. Like 15 is a good chance. I'm gonna be cheeky. Let's try it. No, we lost it. I should have done it. No, I'm gonna wait 7.5. I'm such an idiot. I'm so stupid. I should have just. All right. It's okay, guys. Come on. You'll be all right. You already completed the demo. That's awesome. Cryptic's getting the demo now. Love to hear it, guys. Love to see support for this game because I'm pretty keen on it. So, oh, yeah, the more of you that are keen on it, the more content I can make on it, the better. You gotta watch some more. Sarah is a hard sell. We're gonna convince Sarah by the end of this stream to go and get the demo. That's my goal in life now. I love this, the fact that you can come up here, so you can do this with a mouse wheel and change the height of stuff. We can rotate it as well. Like, yeah, to me it's really cool to have the freedom of building like this. Let's put that down a bit. Look at that. That is perfection itself. So yeah, I really like the building in this game. It's one thing that I'm pretty keen on. Replayability should be outstanding. Well, I mean, yeah, look, yeah, it depends like what you like and stuff, but I think that this game, you will be able to replay it, and it's going to take you a long time to get through it, and I think that's kind of the important thing, because it's like by the time you get through the game, when you go back to play it again, it's like it's been so long that you're kind of ready to play it again, you know. So that's why I like games that have a longer playthrough time, because I think that is one of the big benefits about that. Right, let's go get some berries, I think, and then we can sell berries. They're like a decent little early game money thing. Not me. You're gonna wait for the bugs to get worked out, but you'll buy it anyway. Also, just supporting the game. You're like, you know what, it's buggy and I'm not gonna play it yet, but I'll buy it. Love that. What's the benefit of traveling on roads? I don't know if they're just aesthetic. That would have been a good question for Phillipe. I don't know if they're just aesthetic or if they make you go faster. We can try a little test, I suppose. I haven't noticed that they particularly make you go faster, but let's see. So this is my running speed here. We run along next to the road, and then if I get on the road, okay, that did feel a little faster, maybe. I think it might be slightly faster. Yeah, the demo version is very guided. So I've really enjoyed this version because it's not, and I can just kind of do whatever I want. But obviously, this is the version you guys will get when the EA launch on July 22nd comes out. You'll be playing what you see in here. Maybe like some slight improvements between then and now. Oh, Phillipe has just messaged me. What a legend. He's still here. So roads do not make you go faster, but villagers will try to follow them. Okay, that's great. So it's actually all about the path finding for your villagers, not about the speed of yourselves. So there you go. He's gone, but still here with us. He's in my my Discord there, messaging me. What a legend. So yeah, the demo version is like a campaign story-driven thing that you play through, versus this is like a sandbox mode. And as I said earlier, I'm quite a fan of the sandbox modes to be able to do whatever I want to do in the game kind of thing and build up the town how I want to build it and stuff. But each to their own, and I think with campaigns sometimes as well, they can be really useful for learning a game. So that's one of the benefits as I see it. So let's see, we're going to put a little market store up here somewhere. That's the wrong button. So let's see, services. We'll do a little farmer store, so we need 20 planks for that. All right, let's go. Now, do I have 20 planks? I do not. Okay. I thought I might have had some in storage, but I have none. I do... Oh, a severe storm's on the horizon. Morale has dropped. That's all right. There's no one here right now. It's just me. My morale's not dropped. I'm happy. So, yeah, Timeless is saying about how there's clear ground areas, and it seems like they kind of want you to put different structures there. Yeah, I think it certainly makes sense that you could build there, but I also think you don't have to. You know, it's up to you. The freedom in this game is one of the things I like about it, that sort of stuff. And as Gamer Empire says over on Twitch as well, when you're replaying the game, you're going to get different random events happening and stuff as well, which is nice, which is true. So, yeah, I don't, like, you can build wherever you want. As you see here, I'm just building, you know, within reason, wherever you want. But, obviously, yeah, if you want to build on a flatter area or something, you have that option. So, let's see, let's put this, like, here, against the road. Yeah, there we go. So we're trying to capture any passing trade, you see. Now, what I usually like to do is, let's see, have I got stuff on me? Yeah. So I make a couple of houses when I get started. Oh, bye, Christy. Thanks for coming. And I reckon you'll love this game, Christy, because I know you've played similar games to this in the past and enjoyed them. So this house here, I'm just going to keep as it is. And then I like to make one house and make it a little bit nicer. And then we have the option for both. Because sometimes when the citizens or the villagers want to join those new recruits, they like a more decorated house and stuff. So in the top right, you can see we get like the decorative scores and stuff like that. Let's do some of these actually. These are quite nice. I wonder if I press P right now, does it? Oh, that's so interesting. So you can actually, yeah, okay. I wondered what happened with that. Anyway, that's probably not the best view for this, but if I go back to here, we'll decorate this. And then if we have any citizens who join and they're like, they want a nicer house, then we can do that for them. So I'm going to put a couple of these hanging up here. There we go. So the score right now, structure score is 56. Decorational score was like 33. So I think it's already nicer than it needs to be, actually. Can I check that? Small, modest house. I think this is what Philippe was saying about how they're going to add to this so you know what's what in terms of like what counts as a modest house and stuff like that. But I'm just going to build it up how I like it. See all this stuff, like we build wells and we have little fences and stuff. Yeah, I think it's really cool. You know, I never do a round table. I always do the other one. So let's be less boring. Let's do a round table. And then I'll put some furniture around that. And the cool thing is it tells you the decor score, right? So each table's worth 10, so it doesn't matter which one you choose. And then each chair here is worth 3, stuff like that. So if you're trying to get to a certain number, it makes it super easy to do that. So let's see. I'll put this one like here. And then, yeah, that works. And then we'll build a couple of other little bit of furniture things here. A couple of these, so put one there. And yeah, one there, but like facing the table maybe. We do that. But, you know, we'll have 3. 3 works. And then what we can do is put some decoration on the table as well. So I might put like a little candle on the table. Look at that. Bit of romance, huh? Philippe was saying romance is big on the game. Hey, Gamer Empire, you want to see my cat? We can do that for you. That's a button I haven't used in a little while. Right, there you go. There she is. She's a big chunky girl. And we love her very much. Right, new... Oh, wow. That was good timing. New recruits about to be here. Let's see. We can negotiate with 2 of them. Now, if I see Chris, I've got to remember not to take him. So Edward is a tradesman, which could be useful, right? Let's see. It's offering a bit of money. You know what? It's actually very useful. I'm going to put a pretty decent offer in, I think. What's 30 get us to? That's pretty good. Come on. Oh, you bastard. All right. What are you? You're a peasant. We want you as well. I better get someone in. All right. Let's see. That is surely enough. Come on. Yes. Okay. Alexander. Whew. All right. So I wanted the tradesman because then they'll actually do the trade stuff for us, which would be nice. But this is still good because the woodcutter now. Put Alexander in there. So should be getting us lumber. And then in the houses here. Now, does it tell us? Yeah, so see this house here? This is the nicely decorated one. But if they're happy in the less decorated one, you put them in there first. Then if we get a recruit that wants a nicer house, we've got that for them. So I think that's a pretty good way of doing it. Rashad, that is a great question about whether or not they'll have pets in the game. I haven't seen anything that I've read and whatever about whether there'll be pets in the game or not. But that would be pretty awesome. So yeah, hopefully that will be something that comes at some point. Right, here he is, axe in hand, so he seems ready to go and do his work. Yeah, no, never mind all the warming up, mate. Go chop down some trees, will you? Come on, earn your keep. In the meantime, we're going to get to building some other stuff here. Let's go into this mode. Love this mode. Yeah, it took me a little bit of time when I first played this game to figure out that you can kind of build like this. In this like point of view. But how good is it, right? How useful is that? How dare peasants expect decoration or a table? Yeah, I know, I'm too good to the peasants, but that's me all over. I'm too kind of way and good. That's definitely me. Right, research desk. Yes. So, just put that. See, I'm thinking eventually we could have several researches in one area, so I might put one there. Then we save room for, like, later, maybe? Insufficient resources. That's fine. Oh, look at that. Noble Legacy's still here as well. Appreciate the support, guys. You guys will still be in here. And they're saying We can absolutely do pets. All right. Well, that's awesome. That is, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Fun little things like that, right? How do you get to that viewpoint? You just press P in game. P for pineapple. Yep. That's how you do that. The reason I said P for pineapple, I remember having a chat one time. I had an Xbox 360 back in the day, and something about it broke, and I called up Microsoft support, and I had to read out this like 20 letters and digits and stuff to the guy, and he just, every time I was like B, he was like P, and I was like, no, B. Oh, D. No, B. C. And I was like, oh my god. And we had so many of those letters in the string of 20. The phone, it took like half an hour just for us to get through that. So I don't know why, but that just made me think of that. Jetton's over on Twitch. Thanks for being here, mate. Yeah, no, the stream is buffering a bit on Twitch. It's fine on YouTube if you want to come watch there. Apologies for the Twitch. I'm going to figure out the... yeah, I'll fix that for the future. But for some reason, at the moment, it's doing that the last couple of streams. But yeah, apologies for that, Twitch people. But you know, YouTube's way better, so you should just watch there anyway. Sarah, no one asked, right? Why do you have to go, you know? Honestly, misbehave. At least, well, yeah, see Noble Legacy still here watching. You're gonna get the wrong idea about my chat because of people like you, Sarah. Is it not P for planning? What is P in the phonetic alphabet? Papa, right? Yeah. My dad got a pilot's license when he was younger. Not commercial, just like a small plane that could carry up to like 4 people or something. But he had to learn the phonetic alphabet, so I kind of grew up with him explaining the, like, he'd always use it whenever he had the chance. He just loved it. So I think we've actually researched this, haven't we? Let's see, when are our new recruits available? That's what I want to check. 3 minutes. Time to do some stuff here. Let's see. So out in this lake, there should be some fish, hopefully. Peter. I thought it was Papa. Papa, Lima, Echo. Isn't phonetic alphabet? I'm sure it's Papa, not Peter. Maybe I'm wrong. I was wrong once before about something. All right, let's see. Yeah, there are fish out there. So this is another good use of this view when you go into P. And you can move around like it. So you can actually kind of scout out land and stuff to find a good place to build or whatever. So this is like, yeah, I love this mode right here. But anyway, enough about the mode. So I'm thinking this makes a nice little spot for a jetty somewhere around here. So let's see. Let's go into, I want to build a nice foundation. And we can put the jetty up on top of there. Look at that. Perfect. Can we build it out here? Wow, you can. Okay, hold on. That's kind of nice. If I build it like there, in the, well, you know what, semi in the water, semi on land. Oh, that is perfect. Look at that. Yes, love that. We get some stairs going up to it. I actually kind of like them being on the side for this. Just like that. Yeah, okay, that's really cool that we can build it like that. And then, let's see, production. Wait, we did research this, didn't we? I swear I did. Hold on. Research. 9 out of 10. How did I miss that? Oh my goodness. All right. Well, we have the thing built ready to go. You know. We'll do that. That is awesome, Worm Lady. Attending your wedding on horseback. That's a boss. It's like those people. I've seen this like some sort of trend in America where people are showing up to their prom in really weird ways. The one girl showed up in like a portaloo on the back of a truck and came out and things like that. Someone else showed up in like a coffin or something, was it? I was like, okay. I don't understand America much at times. Maybe I'll learn a bit more. I'm heading there soon. In September, October, I'm in America. So I'll learn a bit more about it then. You might do Rasad. I thought the whole point of the phonetic alphabet was it was like universal, but yeah. Anytime the English do come up with any kind of language though, Americans and Canadians like to kind of change it and make it their own, don't they? So that's probably what's going on here. Where did I build? I'm so lost right now. Is it down this way? Yeah, it is. It's over here. Okay, I was like, I'm heading the wrong way. I was too busy chatting. My bad. See, there it is, over there. Build this jetty. just because then we can eventually get someone to work this for us. But I think, so I'm always acutely aware of the game about the gold. So we're down to 130 gold, and it's important that we get more of that. So I want to get someone to work the market store. Wait, there's a jetty? Wait, why didn't I build the jetty? Why did I build this thing? All right, you know what? This allows me to show you guys something. So when you got your hammer, you press Q, you can demolish stuff when you're looking at it, just like this. Ha ha ha. Right, well, this makes so much more sense. So production, harvesting, we'll put a jetty down. That's going to be way nicer. All right. Let's see. So it's that arrow. Is that the way he's going to work? Or the way we need to get to it? So you can only place this in the water, it seems. Is that right? Yeah, it looks to be the case. All right, let's just place it down. See what happens. So that is now the fishery. It's just a little bit underwater. But hey, it works. Right, it works. I wonder if I... Let's see. Build the fishing rack. Oh, we can place that on top of there. We need 5 more planks. All right, let's go get our planks and come out and place it. That's so funny. It's like semi-flooded. I mean, it's kind of realistic, I suppose. Right? Because, like, you'd have a jetty like that. Gamer Empire says, my school prom, I come to the school in a police car in the back. Now, in a good way or a bad way, Gamer Empire? Hope you didn't get into too much trouble. There's an old UK version of phonetic alphabet. Most people use the NATO STD version these days. A standard version, I guess, rather than STD. The phonetic alphabet has not been using protection. Can you make a dock? Yes, you could. You absolutely could. I mean, you could use the jetty thing and build some foundation stuff, or to use the foundations I've made, so yeah. Attach the jetty to the end of the pier. Alright. Alright, there you go, guys. That's from Noble Legacy itself. We'll go do that. One thing I'm not sure, I haven't checked yet, I don't know if we get materials back when we destroy in this game. Like, if we take down a structural piece and it's 5 planks to build it, do we get those 5 planks back? I'm not 100% on that one. Stop getting lost. It's up this way, isn't it? This is the lake. And where's our sunken jetty? Yeah, I'm sure you did, Flash. My bad. Right, so let's demolish you. Now we'll do it again. We'll do it properly this time. So, build the structure. Here we go. So let's put like a piece here like this. I think this was quite nice where it's semi in the water, semi on land. So that was cool. And then we're going to get some stairs going up to it. It's actually less high this time, but that's fine. It'll work. It'll do the job. Is there disease in this? Well, Philippe was talking about how he wanted to add plagues and stuff, so I think maybe there will be. So, right, let me just put that there. There we go. This looks much nicer, you see. And you could, if you wanted to, let's go to decoration here. Was it decoration or furniture, maybe? Yeah, okay. These rope fences. So we could actually build those and they snap like this. So let's do this. Hey now. Oh, yeah, that was my bad. You know what? I'm just going to take that down real quick. Oh, there you go. Picked up 2 wood planks. You do get the stuff back. If I bothered to read. I'm really bad at reading in games. I really am. I don't know. Like, everyone does it their own way, I guess, right? Anyway, there's that one. There's that one. Look at this. What a lovely jetty. See? That was teamwork. Me and Noble Legacy game on YouTube there that figured this out together. Alright, so now we can put this somewhere. Oh, wrong button. So if I rotate that, I think somewhere here will look good. Yeah, just like that. Perfect. We've got a little fishery right here. The fishing rack. And the lake here we can cast out on. And there's 40 fish in there, which will soon be in here, we hope. So survival mechanics is something I was talking about with Philippe, Worm Lady. So there are, I think, going to be more and more things implemented, but at the moment, there's not too much you have to worry about for yourself. It's more about for your citizens. So like they'll need food and they'll need to stay warm and all that sort of stuff. But for us, like, we don't have to worry too much about it, you know? As long as we're looking after our citizens, then all is well. Right, recruits. Blimey, none of these are happy. They all want a better house. So is this house here not quite good enough then? We have to improve this house even some more. So, I wonder if there's something, we could probably put something nice out here. I'm going to decorate, no, furniture it was. There was like, yeah, a bench here. Oh, that's a shelf, okay. There's some stools, so we could have some stools out on the veranda here. Right, just to improve the score a little bit. Did that actually change anything? Yeah, it did. See, so they still want the tavern. I'm going to work on that. But at least the house now was like, yeah, they were okay with that. So let's do the research for that, I reckon. Maybe it needs a fireplace. Well, no, they're happy with that house now. We can certainly improve it, but obviously it's resources as well, right? So research, the good thing is the tavern is the next one. We can do that and get that going on. Gamer Empire says this reminds me of mine colonies. Yeah, I mean, that is obviously a Minecraft mod, but it's a first-person city builder, so any first-person city builder has some things in common with this, I suppose. Tavern is a need. I mean, to be fair, like, if I was living in medieval times, I think the tavern would be kind of a sticking point for me to, like, you know, average life expectancy is like 12 years old or whatever it is. It would be about, I don't know, 50 maybe, right? And you've got like, you know, 4 women in the village to choose from that you might be able to marry. And you've got, you know, just work every single day. There was no weekends or time off or whatever. Like, you just work all day and then you got a couple hours in the evening. There's no telly, there's no gaming. I think the pub would be, be high on my priorities as well. Go to bed, Sarah. If you're that tired. You can't even emoji properly anymore. More than a fireplace. These people have the wrong priorities. Yeah, I know. What's wrong with them? They should be happy with what they got. Let's see, another minute and a half. Get some new ones in. None of these guys particularly what we want. But I like how complex this is as well. So you've got like the different traits that they have and stuff, you know. So it's this is what we were talking about before about managing them. That's really the difficulty in the game. That's the challenge. And that's who you have to look after, is those people that are joining your town rather than yourself, right? It's more about them. Well, that's how I live my life, you know. It's all about other people. Just do everything for other people. Alright, how far through are we? My lies can only get me so far. 12 out of 20, we're getting there. In those days, beer or mead was the main drink, as the water was more dangerous to drink. Yeah, I've heard that. I think as well, it was something about like the workforce. It was a way, like a cheap way of giving them sustenance through the day and keeping people happy because they'd be slightly tipsy or whatever. But also back in those days, the alcohol content was way weaker. I think it's like even 30 years ago, an average beer was like 3.5%, whereas now it's like 5%. And if you have 3.5, that's like a mid-strength, which is crazy. Yeah. The lower percent beers are better for so many reasons. But I digress. What is I checking? I've seen how far we got through. Almost there. Oh, and we got some recruits to choose from. Let's get this built first, then we'll see. Without a fireplace, you couldn't cook food. They'd be lucky to even get food. They got berries. You know, what do you want? You got berries. That'll do. Alright, so it's that one more point now. Complete. There we go. So, I think we just completed the tavern. So, now where was this? This one, stew pot. Make stews, soups, and broths for your tavern. That's cool. A barrel. Self-serve drinks for your bar patrons. So we have to build a bar and place a few different things in. Now, we're going to need some bricks for that. So I guess we're going to need clay that we melt down in the furnace. Let's have a look at our new recruits a second. And then we'll get into this stuff. All right, look at this. With all these people. So 3 of them we can negotiate with. We have an artisan. That's cool. That's the first one I've seen today of that. We have Harold, who's a lazy homebody, and he's a peasant. Could be useful, actually. And then we have this guy, the barfly. He's another artisan. Okay, so what would an artisan, what would we need an artisan for? So I think we need one of these for the fish. My kingdom wealth is only 90 though. If I don't get a trader in soon, we're not going to be able to make enough gold, are we? That's one thing. Although certain people will pay taxes, won't they? I'm not sure if peasants do. I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to be careful. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to make sure I get someone in here so that we can be selling stuff, right? Let's do that. Now I think I'm right in saying, so we've got berries in there, but there's not going to be a way that we can sell them without someone working here. Like, I'll try it, but I don't think it's going to happen. We'll have to just kind of keep an eye on stuff. So our money right now is 90. Let's see if we can get that up a bit. Like, I'm thinking if I had someone catching fish, we could sell the fish and stuff, but I might need most of that 90 to, like, hire someone. I think I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. So what I want to do then is we want to move to having the ability to build the tavern. So over here, we're going to do the forge or the furnace research, because that's going to allow us to do that. And so early game, my interpretation so far is early game, we're going to be doing a fair bit of research ourselves. Wait, what? Something just happened. Wait. We went up to 100. Okay. I'm going to try and figure out why exactly that was. We didn't sell any berries. That's from our peasant who's... You know what? I'm going to hire that peasant. I'm going to get him to cut down some fish. Maybe they are paying tax. So, it was you? Yes. I'm going to try and hire him anyway. For the sake of 5 coins, we could guarantee him. But I like to gamble. I feel like I'm due one of these to be in my favor. It wasn't meant to be. I didn't want you anyway. All right, get out of here. I did that on purpose. I didn't want him. I think that's actually quite a fun thing. So it's like they don't just have requirements that you have to meet and then they definitely join. You can take a bit of a risk on it. I like what that adds to the game. Clearly a fairly big fan of this game. I realize that's somewhat obvious, but I like all city builder games, and there's very few first-person city builder games around like this that are any good from the ones I've played. There's like a handful of them at best, so yeah, it's nice to be in early access for one of these. And so we get the furnace. We will build... Actually, do you know, I think... Let me check something. Oh, I can't check it yet. Building the furnace might cost us 100 coins. Something I was trying to do in off camera a couple days ago was like 100 coins requirement. So we really need to get in a tradesman, start selling stuff, don't we? Now that was something I was going to check. What is the other... A crafter store, a free standing market store. Members at the Merchants Guild Hall can sell their wares at any available store nearby. Okay. So I guess it's just for different types of mats that you can sell there. How's our research going? We are almost halfway there. We'll keep studying it for now. And then... Yeah, maybe our gold will just keep going up. 10 at a time from the dude who's working. I think that's what Phillipe was saying. That's one of the big ways you can earn money in the game. And as soon as we get the tradesman, we'll be off and running. The good news is we'll have a lot of stuff to sell as well by the time we get him. We can go and get some better materials as well to sell. Like, I'm assuming if we sell like gold, if we find that, then we'll get a much better price than we will for berries. Even like catching some fish and selling that should work pretty good as well. So yeah, I'm pretty keen to get that going. And I want someone to do this. Do you know what? Nah, I was thinking I could hire the artisan. I just think I might need that money. I was like, if I could hire someone to do the research for me. But the problem is that I think money's the issue. Early game, that's going to be my focus, is like, how can I maximize gold? Seems to be a good way of doing it. Hopefully the game sounds are loud enough as well, guys. Can you hear the game music in the background and the hammering and stuff like that? I had them a bit lower when I was chatting to Phillipe because there was 2 people talking and it was getting a bit whatever, but I hope you guys are here and all that stuff. I've got a new headset that I've ordered. It's coming soon, so that'll make things a bit easier. Because as you can see, I'm just using these. I quite like these, especially in the summer in Australia, because it gets so hot. And having a big headset on is like wearing earmuffs, and it just warms you up a lot when it's already boiling hot. But yeah, this time of year I could probably wear the bigger headset, and they are much better. And they give me more volume control for the streams. Because I know I don't stream super often, but when I do, it'd be nice to have the right volume levels and stuff. That is complete. Okay, cool. Right, let's get out of here a second. So, now that we've unlocked it, we can see... stop hammering, dude. Yeah, 100 gold. So we definitely don't want to spend all our gold on this. But that is going to be a way of progressing. So, we need to get the tradesman in to get more gold. Then once we've got enough gold, we can build that to make the stuff that we want to make for the tavern. Aha. What we could do is start constructing the tavern and making it look nice and stuff like that. So how long till new recruits? 40 seconds. Right, well, enough time to get started on a couple of bits here. So what I want to do is I'm going to have this tavern. Let's make it look nice. Let's put it, I reckon near the road's fine. And let's go up just a little bit. So you have to kind of, yeah, I reckon like there would be good. All right, so you there. Yeah, here we go. What I want to, can I not snap this up? There's a way. It's like, you know what? If I get out of this, I reckon it'll work. So, I'll put you there. Oh, we need new stuff. There's new recruits available as well. So we need more wood. Do that in a second. Right, give me a tradesperson, please. We have 3 people who could be tradespeople. Simon's an artisan. We're getting all the artisans now. Here we go. Edward's a tradesman. Now, what's a good idea? Let's see. Right, we have 2 tradespeople. So what I could do is just see, like, so to get her to almost a yes is 45, whereas for Edward to get him to an almost yes is, look at that, for less coin we get him almost definitely. This is why we should check stuff. Oh, thank goodness. Right, so happy that he actually, you know, I was like, if this doesn't work, then I'm really screwed. So now we can go to storehouse, isn't it? What witchcraft is this? Wait, what if I get a house? Oh, wait, is there another? Is he just not in the town yet? Could be another bug. Could be. He definitely said yes, didn't he? He's in visitors. Yeah, alright. So, Noble Legacy, if you are watching, there seems to be a slight bug at the moment where some of the tradespeople are coming in as a visitor rather than as an actual town member, even once we've recruited them. So what I'll do, I've got 60 gold. I'll do this with another one just to really test it. So I want to double check, but I'm pretty certain, like, he's not showing up there and he's not showing up on the housing stuff, right? So he's not here. So if we go to recruits, we'll negotiate with Alice, who's another tradesman. And I'm just going to whack this up to like 100% so that we definitely get her. And I'll see if she does the same thing or not. Because Chris was bugged. It looks like Edward's bugged, but it might be the whole tradesman job is bugged. So there's Alice. She's down there. So buildings, houses. Oh, now Alice seems to be working. Okay, that's an interesting one. So, okay, so Alice is working. She is in there. She's able to be put into a house. And that's cool. Needs a house assigned to a house. No, he's just not showing his house. Look, see, Alice was showing stuff, but he's showing as visitor. None of the others are showing in here. So there's a couple of tradespeople that seem to be bugged. But the good news is that we should now start making some money. Oh, no worries, Noble Legacy. Just thought I'd mention it, that it's not just Chris, in case you weren't sure. So we have someone working in here. Money should start coming in. Let's get some better things to sell as well, shall we? We're going to have a nice little... Oh, wait. Now, is this going to be a problem? Because other visitors might not show up? We'll have to see. We've got 0 gold. We'll see if it starts going up. And we'll see if we start selling stuff. So we have 32 berries. That's easy to remember. I say that because it's half a stack in Minecraft. That's how much... too much Minecraft I've played. We'll see if that goes down. And we'll try and sell some other stuff as well. Now, iron... Got a lot of iron around here, which is actually awesome. Gamer Empire says it must be that the first tradesman will be a visitor and the second will be a worker. Yeah, it could be that. Could well be that. They're gonna fix it. That's all right. I've been able to provide some value here. I've been able to point out a couple of bugs, which is good. That's what early access is all about. And we'll test that out and see if we sell stuff over time. I'd like to find some like gold ore or something like that. Maybe we could sell some gold ore if we find it. I don't know if I've just been getting lucky. So when it says ore, I believe this is gold. Oh, that's an interesting flash. Could be. We shall see. We shall test it through. Right, there we go. So 14 gold. We'll put that in our storehouse as well, and we'll say that they can sell it, and we'll see if that works or not. So let's see over here, isn't it? There we go. So 14 gold, and then we have to go to the market itself. And we put the gold ingot as a tick and sell all, because it's good for testing. And Alice, you need to come to work. Edward, you should buy things from here. You're technically a visitor. Spend your money. Buy some lovely things. Because we have to get up to 100 gold if we're going to be able to build the next thing as well. Alright, let's see. What else could we build? That's right. I was working on the tavern. I totally forgot about that. So, if we come to here, in the log pile, look at that. All these logs were gathered for us by our peasant, which is awesome. Free resources. Now we can build up this a little bit more. So let's go build a structure. So we actually didn't talk much about this with Philippe. I probably should have spoken about this a bit more. But one of the cool things is you can make up prefabs and then share them. If I make a tavern here, the community would be able to buy this later. Buy this. Yeah, I'm going to sell it. I'm going to make all my money. The community would be able to download this, is what I was trying to say, later on. And so, yeah, like, you can share builds with your friends, which I think is really awesome. Plus, if you're not really in the mood for building yourself, but you want something that looks nice, you can just use somebody else's prefab. So, pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty good. I am tempted to do something here. You know, let's do it. I'm playing this game. Why not? So I'm going to go back one further, like this. I'm going to get this here. Yes, okay. So I'll build this all the way around. Like this. Alright, cool. So this is going to be the tavern. And the way I'm going to do it is we'll have... Wait, no, that's the wrong one. I want, let's see, a door frame. One there. And one there. Just like that. So these will be the ways in and out. This will be like a little front porch. Oh, yes. And then I'm just going to have some fun with the building, basically. So I think it's furniture. Build this one here. Let's go up to here. So, yep, one like that. This is health and safety, which was big in medieval times. You just don't want people falling off, you know, your bar. So that stops that happening. But what I was thinking is we go back to furniture. We can make some like tables. Now, this is the outdoor stuff, like the benches, and there's not like an outdoor table as such, but that's a stool. But I don't think it'll be any problem with us building the dining table outside, right? So we can put one... should we have one in the middle? Yeah, I've got an idea. So I'm going to put one under each window, like this, and like this. Oh, yes. Then we'll build the outdoor decoration stuff. So the bench, no, not a wall shelf. We need to build furniture, outdoors. The trough's quite nice, actually. I'm going to put that out the front as well. We'll build a bench like here. Yeah. Yeah, that works. Yep. And then one over here. So if people want to do some al fresco dining or drinking, we can make that happen. Like that. New recruits available. Yeah, but not to us. I think this guy is stopping anybody from buying our market, maybe. But let's see. Is that Alice? I think it must be. Yeah, so she's just going to work now. So maybe the reason we didn't sell anything yet was actually because of that. I thought she was going to work. She's just going for a morning stroll. All right, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So yeah, so we've got these like little outdoor tables and things, which is kind of nice. And then I might do a nice round table here as well. In the middle. Oh, I need more planks. Let's go do that. Yeah, we might as well make up a nice little tavern. No, I need that. I guess we'll make some up. Might have to do a bit more wood chopping ourselves as well. I think later on into the game, we can probably automate most resources to a point where, you know, it's all kind of done for us, everything we need. But early stage, we might have to help them out a little bit. Temporary seasonal workforce could be an interesting idea. Farm laborers during harvest time and such. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Sounds a bit complex, but yeah, like maybe like mercenary type of people that you hire for a temporary period and they do certain tasks and you pay money for it. Yeah, that could be cool. I'm always like cautious with games though, because I think from our point of view as like the players of the game, it's so easy to be like, oh, this would be cool and that'd be cool and you should do this, you should do that. But I don't understand enough about development to know like how straightforward those things are and stuff. So I'm always like, because like obviously I speak with different developers sometimes about games, and I'll happily like suggest ideas and things, but I'm always like, but look, I don't know how difficult that is, you know, because I don't have that knowledge about actually coding games and developing them and stuff. I do like designing your own shops idea instead of using prefab. Yeah, well, and that's kind of the cool thing. So you can design your own and then share them with people. Or you know, if you like doing that, and then if you don't, you just use someone else's. So that's really cool. And it's also a nice way to bring the community together. People will be like, oh, have you seen this guy's build of the tavern? Like, it's awesome. Go check it out, whatever. And yeah. I like, because I don't think this game, like certainly when it's first going out and stuff, there's not like a multiplayer aspect to it. It's a solo game, but then the community around it can be built up in other ways, like with their Discord, which I did link. It's still here actually. Let's go into there. Yeah, there we go. This is the Noble Legacy Discord again, if anyone wants it. But and then sharing prefabs is like another way of doing that, so it's pretty cool. I'm just making a few extra planks up for other stuff that we'll be building. We're going to need those resources, I'm sure. Alright, that should be enough to get us going. Okay, this tavern doesn't look like much at the moment. And to be honest, it may not at the end. We'll see how we do, but there's still much building to do. So, that one in there. And then we can build some chairs around it. That's what I was thinking. So, go for like a classic. Now, let's get you rotated around there. And, you know, actually, if they're a bit off-center, that kind of looks better and more natural. So I might build them like that. And then I'll put, like, a nice bar stool in here. Maybe one. Yep. Yeah, that works. Like in there. In there. And, oh. What? I fell through the table. And, oh, hold on. That was my bad. Let's see, can we... So let's get our hammer, and then we can destroy this. I don't make sure I'm looking at the right thing, otherwise I'll destroy the wrong thing. And that's no good. So we will demolish you. We'll replace that last one. Like that. You know, kind of like a bar atmosphere, the different stools and chairs and stuff. And then I might put like a little candle down. Decoration. Yep. Now these candles are awesome because they're rainproof. For that. And actually, you know, every table deserves a candle. Aha. That way people can come here at night, which, let's be honest, it's going to be a tavern. So that's cool. And then there's some other stuff that we can make in here, right? So the actual production side of things. So we've got... Wait, is it services maybe? Yeah, the barrel tap. Now that does require gold as well, so we can't build that just yet. And we got to smelt down. That's a bit later on. But like, oh wow, stew pot also needs gold. I didn't realize that. Blimey. Okay, so getting money. This is way more important than I even realized. because like everything about the other game needs money. You need like 1,000 coins maybe to build up a tavern. Yeah, okay. So we definitely need to prioritize money, and it won't be as hard as it looks. I think that the issue's been with the lack of trade because the visitor bug that we're getting with this dude, and I'm not sure there's any way that we can make him leave. Like, if we talk to him, greet him, what can I help you with? I mean, maybe I can just keep telling him he needs to work harder. He's technically a visitor. Maybe he'll just get annoyed if I keep doing it and then leave. Like, does he have see his aptitude and stuff? I just wonder if he has like a happiness. We just like really piss him off and then he'll eventually leave. That could be quite fun. But I wanted to test that out. I might keep doing some building of this and stuff off cam, but I can't. I gotta get some more gold before I can do that. So I think I'll leave it here for today. So yeah, thank you all so much for joining. A massive thank you to Phillipe and Noble Legacy for participating in today's stream, and obviously making it what it's been. It's a lot easier when we've got the actual devs here to chat about things, go through things. So yeah, a big thank you to those guys. And if you want to get this game again, you can wishlist it on Steam, and that will really support the game. There is a demo of it over there on Steam as well, which you guys can play now. The demo is very good. I've played through the whole thing myself. It was very fun and teaches you a lot about the game and stuff. So yeah, thanks very much to everybody. Much more content coming on this on my channel over the coming weeks and stuff. Obviously, as we get closer to the 22nd of July. And